Welcome to the Growth, Grace, and Prosperity Podcast. Join Stewart Heath for down-to-earth conversations with top professionals, entrepreneurs, and leaders who have a story to tell. Let's get rolling.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Growth, Grace, and Prosperity Podcast. I am your host, Stewart Heath, CEO and founder of Harvard Grace Capital. Today, we have our guest, Ryan Wilkinson. He is from right here in the Nashville area, and we are excited to hear his story. Ryan, thank you so much for taking time out. As we were talking before, it's a busy day. They always are. So thanks for joining us.
Well, thanks for having me.
You bet. So, generally I ask the same 5 questions to everybody because they're so open-ended and it just seems to lead to really good conversations. So, Ryan, as you think back over your career, and we've talked a little bit about your consulting and how that is transformed in what you're doing now. When you think about that over, since you got out of college, whatnot, was there a game changer that set you on this path versus going a different way, or some roadblock that you hit that ended up sending you down this path that's been successful for you?
Absolutely. Yeah. So I started working in our family business, a bakery business, back in 2002, right out of high school. And I was doing college side by side. Just started ground level, sweeping floors, working for the family business. It was a big manufacturing bakery. And we had at that time 3 bakeries. And I spent 17 years with that business, working my way up the ladder, but found that what studying in school at Belmont and what my interests was really technology. And so I started veering into more technology roles within the bakery business and ended up being the director of technology at the end of my career with them. But I've always been really good with computers. I built, iPhone apps and stuff like that. And so about 4 years before I left that business, the inflection point, we needed to put an ERP into the bakery. And we chose Sage X3. And when the consultants came in to help with the ERP, I latched on to them and I was just like, teach me everything. Because in the baking business, or most businesses, they don't put a lot of money towards technology. So it was just me and one other guy, over 500 employees, over IT, of all the computers, the ERP, everything. So we had to get a lot of SMRs, to built up with the knowledge. And it was just like, my head was spinning. It was just so much, and, but I worked long hours. And when I wasn't working with the bakery, I was learning the system. I was just deep diving with the consultants, like just show me everything so that when we go live with this thing, then I can support it. That was my thought process, was just learn as much as I can so I don't have to rely on them, because consultants are expensive, right? So.
Right. Yes, we are.
So I did that for a while, and as I was managing IT and the ERP, my home life was starting to suffer because I was on salary, but I was burning through working 60 to 80 hours a week. Lots of long nights, middle of the night wake ups, stuff like that. And eventually, my wife helped me to decide that it was time to break off and do my own thing, so that I'm not just being taken advantage of in the business of being, low wage, high hour kind of thing. And so the transition really also was because private equity came into the bakery. And so private equity came in about 1.5 years before I left. So I lasted about 1.5 years. And my mom, who owned the bakery, it was a family business, she always said to me, she's like, whenever it's not fun anymore, let me know and you can get out. And so about 1.5 years in, talked to my wife, and we worked it out, and went to my mom. I said, it's not fun anymore. And so I'm out. And So I left that business, started my own consulting business. I had about 4 months before I left, I started looking for customers. Used Upwork, which is a good tool for finding customers, and I got 2 customers before I left, so I had a little bit of padding where I wasn't just going with nothing. And I got started from there, um, and just started building out my contacts, and that was the inflection point. Really was the private equity coming in. I knew that my ceiling had been reached. I was going for CTO, but I knew when private equity came in, they started bringing their own people in, and I knew there was no room for me anymore. And so, um,
I've heard that story many times.
yeah,
You know, private equity is the new curse word. So,
yeah, exactly.
so maybe you've already covered this. Maybe there's another situation that you might see as a bump in the road, something that came along, you didn't expect it. And how did you handle that? And how did you navigate around the bump in the road?
Um, well, see, bump the road. You mean in the transition?
Maybe not a transition, but just something unexpected happening. And nothing comes to mind. That's fine. We can move on. But generally, what I'm trying to pull out of with that question is something completely unexpected that you had to navigate. In the bakery situation, you obviously knew private equity was coming in.
Yeah.
It was family owned, but maybe there was a massive power outage that you had to deal with, or that just popped in my head, or some other situation that might have been, like I say, unexpected.
Um, Nothing's coming
Okay.
to mind right now. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
there were all kinds of, when I was working for the bakery and running the ERP, there was all kinds of disasters.
Right.
But it was always my, work philosophy is I jump to get it done and get them on the road, make sure everybody's able to work. So that was my
Right.
job, was keep everybody online. So,
Good. Good. Um, Ryan, I hate learning new things. And as soon as I say that, that's really not true. I hate learning things that I don't see any benefit in learning.
yeah,
Like a new piece of software when my current version is working just fine.
yeah.
How do you tackle learning new things?
Um, so with the ERP that I utilize in my business, Sage X3, they have a calendar of the whole year of classes and learnings that you can take to one, re-up your certification because you have to be certified to work on it. But 2, to learn new modules, and there's always updates and changes that they're making. So I set aside 10 hours a quarter and I sign up for those like a CPA would sign up for where you have to get a number of hours to keep your license every year. There's no regulation for me other than the certification I have to have, but I like to stay on top of and know the newest things that are going on, because when new features come out, those are features that I can give to my customers, say, hey, look, this just came out and I know how to install it. So I really take advantage of that. Once you're an ROR with Sage X3, the classes are free. If you're new to it, they have a cost to them, but it's not very expensive for the classes. So it's been very beneficial for me. I actually took some earlier this week, Monday. I was taking a training class Monday morning for about 4 hours, and yeah, it pays to take the time, because it helps me to service the customer even better. Then there's a lot of people that in my industry that don't do that, and they're stuck in the old ways, and then I can swoop in and take those customers away because the other people can't support it. So
Well, you're right. I am a CPA, and I got 4 hours of CPE this morning. This is the season, and yeah, we got to get 40 hours a year.
Right, yeah.
Beyond your ERP system that you're an expert in, are there other cutting edge technologies that you like to learn about, and that's part of your everyday, every week routine that may or may not benefit your customers?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm really interested in AI. So the new stuff coming from AI. So I've been doing a lot of research and playing with some of the features in ChatGPT and learning some of the other programs that are coming out with AI. I've actually started implementing that AI with statements of work order processes or work processes, standard ops, SOPs. That's what I was trying to think of, SOPs. So
Good.
with SOPs, I would usually just generally write it all out, and it takes time, and that's hours that I have to bill back to the customer because I'm writing out their SOPs because it's different for every customer because every
Right.
customer is different. But with ChatGPT now, I can type in just a couple sentences and it'll spit it out. And then I just have to go in, put some screenshots in there, maybe adjust it, modify it just a little bit. It cuts my time down by a quarter at most. You know, if it used to take me like 2 hours, it takes me like 30 minutes now. So,
I feel so behind because all I've done is a few little chats with ChatGPT, and other people have turned it into you know, a business tool in their business. It's fascinating to look at.
I saw the opportunity and I wanted to, I always look for ways that I can help my customer because they like lesser billings. And so if I get lesser billings, I get more work.
Right. Yeah. Are there any of the other AI platforms are you intrigued with right now?
Um, that's the one I've spent the most time on. I'm still researching other ones and see um, there's so many out there. It's, the time to take and research it's going to be worth it, but it takes time to
Yeah.
see what's all out there.
Seems as though all of my apps are now trying to push me to try their AI, and it's like I have Adobe, and I use it to read PDFs or create PDFs.
There's AI in Adobe now.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know what you're going to do for me. Like, are you going to pull it out of my email for me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I found out yesterday I'm a runner, and so I use Strava, and now there is AI in Strava, and and they're like analyzing my workout. I'm like, this is crazy.
Yeah. Did I ask?
I didn't even ask for it. It just
Yeah.
appeared.
Yeah. Yeah. I probably wouldn't like it if anybody was analyzing my workout. Yeah. I have teenagers at home. I get enough criticism. So
There you go.
let's pivot now to uh, personal finance and things like that. I always like to ask and find out, again, with no numbers, as you are investing in things outside of your own entrepreneurial venture, are you doing stocks, bonds, alternatives, crypto, gold, art? Tell me, how do you pursue your personal investments?
Um, so currently I do a little in real estate, in stocks, and I've got my hand in crypto too. So I like to spread it out. We
You
also have
tech people love that crypto.
yeah, I know.
I don't,
They
I
do.
don't understand it, and I'm sure I'll do it someday. But
Yeah. Well, I just got in early. I'm just holding.
right,
I just watch it. I just watch it just tick and then it'll drop and then it'll tick up and then it'll drop. I'm just like,
exactly,
yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
just as long as I don't go negative, I'm fine.
What is your drill down on stocks a little bit? Are you picking, the Magnificent Seven, or are you going for dividend stocks, or what's your philosophy there?
So I'm a more of a higher risk trader. So, I've gone after the Nvidia, the Tesla. I got in Tesla pretty early, so that's paid off for me.
Oh
Uh,
yeah,
and I played the Dogecoin, when that went on, I knew what was happening, so I knew when to get out.
Right. Right. Yeah.
But that was a fun ride. That was just a
Thanks,
game.
Elon.
Yeah. That was just a game.
It was. It
Yeah.
was.
The GameStop stuff, that was just a game. That was just,
Sure. Yeah. It's
but,
an entertainment for sure.
but, but other stuff I have spread out and some equity markets and stuff like that. It's, the international market and whatnot, that kick off some dividends and stuff like that as well.
Gotcha.
So,
All right. As we're rounding out our time here, this is my favorite question. It's if there's anyone who any one piece of advice that you would want to give to somebody you're mentoring or somebody you'd want to follow in your footsteps, what would it be?
piece of advice, I would say, it's okay to ask for help. Many times in my world of consulting, people think that they have to have all the answers. A lot of consultants do, and it really puts them in a bad situation. Which you don't know what you don't know, and it's okay. So it's okay to go and ask for help from somebody that you think has the answer. And you don't look stupid going to ask that question, because I mean, this whole process, everything changes in technology. So there's no stupid question. You just don't know it yet. So I would say, for me, that has been a pillar of my success, is always reaching out to other people. Even if they don't work for my company, I find other people that know how the process works, and I either pay for their time or they give it to me, and I learn, and so I can move forward. So it's always about, gearing up your toolbox, making sure it's good so you can do for the customers. And, I know I don't have all the answers. So
I agree. I think that is generally a mistake of youth, usually. Some of us older guys still think that, we're worried about the perception of not knowing everything. And you just got to remember what you're the expert in.
Exactly.
And you're not the expert in that situation yet. How you apply your expertise to your client's situation. And I've had clients push back on me in the past. It's like, well, you're the expert. I'm paying you. I said, yeah, but I've been at your company for about an hour. So
Exactly.
I don't know how to apply my expertise to your situation. That's why we're asking. So,
Yes.
but it's so true. That is such a powerful piece of advice, Ryan. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Again, you're a busy man, busy CEO. Thank you for taking the time this afternoon.
Yeah.
If there is if anyone would like to reach out to you, how would they do that?
My website is www.august-io.com. It's got my contact information on there. They can leave a note, give me a call. My phone number's on there as well. So I'm always available when I'm not at a meeting.
Yeah. Wow. Email and phone on your website. You're a brave guy these days. So
Yeah.
thank you very much. We will make sure that information is in the show notes. And thank you, everyone, for watching this episode. Hope that you'll come back and to see another one and share this one with your friends. Like us on Facebook and all that stuff, and wherever you're finding the podcast. Once again, Ryan, thank you for joining us, and we appreciate having you and your wisdom with us.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for tuning in to the Growth, Grace, and Prosperity podcast. If you'd like to be a guest, visit growthgraceprosperity.com/guest. We'd love to hear your story.